toplantılarında aslında İsveç'teki Frans deneyiminden haberdar olduk. Akran Zorbalığı'da benim katıldığım birçok alanda öğretmenlerle ya da bu alanda çalışan insanlarla hep dile gelen, konuşulan bir konu. Bu nedenle İsveç'te bunun nasıl bir deneyimi olduğunu hep birlikte konuşalım, tartışalım.
Friends is a Swedish non-profit and non-governmental organization, and it's one of the largest in the world working exclusively with bullying prevention. One example of our advocacy is that we, for 1.5 years ago, calculated on the societal financial costs of bullying. And in a Swedish context, every child that has become bullied it gives a societal cost in average of 135,000 Turkish lira. So bullying prevention is also a really good investment for a society. Firstly, of course, it is a human right. In the United Nations Convention on the Children's Rights, children have the right to express their views in all matters affecting the child. But it's also important, when we look at the research, we clearly can find that child participation also increases the effect of all bullying preventative work. From our experience, that child participation work needs to be implemented and worked with on all levels in the school community. Especially if you really wanted to create a participative school culture instead of a one-time engagement, which often is the case when it comes to child participation. So it is important to work with involving the kids both on the peer level, the class and group level, the school level, as well as the policy level. And number one is that it is really important to be research-based in theory and practice when you work with child participation. Because what works in one country, one culture, and in one school doesn't necessarily work in another school or in another context. And it is you professionals who work close to the kids that you are involved with, who know your group and know what would work, and need to adapt all the measures that are being around them. So being informed, but also to trust your own instincts about the group dynamics. It is also important to target all hurtful behavior. Bullying, when we talk about bullying, the definition is is not so inclusive. For example, it must be a repeated behavior and it must be meant to harm. And you should also say that it must be some kind of power relation between the bullied and the ones who bully. But if you focus too much on that definition, you miss a lot of hurtful actions going on in the class that doesn't fit in the definition. So it is important when working to prevent bullying to also include all kinds of peer reactions, sexual or racist harassments and other hurtful issues. So improving the role for the bystander and as a child participative work is really important and could make a difference, but it also to balance on a thin line between involvement and responsibility.
Biz de bir akran zorbalığıyla ilgili kampanya başlatmak istedik. Neden akran zorbalığıyla mücadele kampanyası diye sorarsak, Birleşmiş Milletler Çocuk Haklarına Dair Sözleşmenin 19. maddesine göre bütün çocukların şiddetten masum olma, korunma hakkı olduğunu hepimiz biliyoruz. Okullarda akran zorbalığı sıkça görülen bir şiddet türü. Zorbalığa uğrayan bir öğrenci ve ailesi her zaman gerekli desteği alamamakta. Bu alandaki müdahale programları sınırlı sayıda ve yetersiz kalabilmekte. Okullarda zorbalığa kampanyası ile çocuğa karşıtlığı önlemek için ortaklık ağ olarak amacımız zorbalığı önleme, başa çıkma yöntemleri ile ilgili anne babaları, öğretmenleri, çocuklarla ilişkili kişileri ve diğer yetişkinlerin bilgi ve farkındalıklarını arttırmak, okulların ve ilgili bakanlıkların okullarda akran zorbalığı ile mücadele politikalarını benimsemesini sağlamayı amaçladık. Çocukların akran zorbalığının algısının ne olduğunu görebilmek adına resim ve hikaye atölyeleri gerçekleştirdik. Çocuklara da bu kampanyayı katmak istedik aynı zamanda. Atölye çalışmalarının ardından resimler ve hikayeler değerlendirildi. Sosyal medya kartı haline getirildi. Çocuklar ne yaşıyor onların gözünden bunları aktarmak istedik.
Well, we haven't told you much about our program, our trainings in school, but we have a long-term program when we work with school that goes on for 3 years. And it's based on a whole school approach where you need to involve everybody, and the parents, of course, are a very important part of this. What we have seen is they are more likely to come if we combine it with some other activity at the school, maybe a vernissage of art from the students or something. But we also have our guidance phone and guidance email where parents can turn to us for advice. And the one question that we get all the time from parents is, my child is being bullied at school and I don't think that the school is doing enough. What are my rights? What can I do?
With empowering all students to become, I should not say espionage, but to become students that stands up for what's right and telling adults when they see things that has gone wrong. Because that is also something that we want in our society. I would also like to say regarding that question that what we really see is one of the most important, one of the important things that must be done for a student to tell an adult is that they trust that it would make a difference. When we talk to kids about why aren't you telling an adult if you see bullying, the most common answer is, I've done it a couple of times, but nothing happened, nothing changed. And of course, it's not so easy to make a bullying situation stop directly. But if you can't stop it directly, give feedback to the student. Say, I'm still working on it, thank you for talking to me. Because that feedback is really important for the trust between the student and the adult.